Okay, a little video about throttle quadrants. Yeah, like I said, this is kind of a fun little deal to do, but it is a little bit confusing. The first thing I want to say, and I did put this in the forum post, is that you might look, this is a service instruction SKS, I guess that's a small L, but 001. And this came out, and what it is it takes and adds these parts. Basically, it changes this little triangular part, and it has a notch on it, or a little place right there to put a spring on the end of it. And then it goes down here to the prop handle on the front quadrant, and they've added a little notch in the front with a hole you can attach that spring. So basically what that does, I guess for some reason it brings the prop handle, it wants to give it leverage to go back to the back position. I don't know why. You think that everything else in the prop defaults to a forward position or fine pitch. In the case of a failure, the spring automatically takes the prop to a fine pitch. But in any case, that's what they're doing. This is a knurled knob right here. That's actually a friction knob that goes on. So anyway, you might want to get this kit. That's all it is. It involves a new prop lever handle, this one right here with the notch in it. Involves this new little triangular piece right here. And in the forum post, I give you the actual numbers. They're right here also. See? And then it gives you the spring. So my kit is number 94. They said this, I believe, went through serial number 74, but apparently they either changed something or the kit 94 did not have this implemented in the kit, okay? It has it has the old parts in it. So I went ahead and got the kit and replaced them. So when I did this. So in any case, it's kind of confusing. I'm gonna go over here first and we'll just look at it. Also now on this number 94 is these are the 364 1032 nuts they refer to in the diagrams that go on. These are actually have been welded into the fuselage here on the front ones and on the back ones. And so the only one that's not built in is this bottom one here on the bottom of the rear quadrant. You will have to put that castle nut on there because obviously it's made to move and these aren't. They lock into them. So in any case, this one here on the front actually uses a triangular piece that's welded into the fuselage, and there's a stud or a screw welded in this back piece that comes forward, and this knob is actually what attaches to it, okay? So you don't have if you're looking at the build, this was what we call the bottom of the quadrant, and this will be the top of the quadrant. So you're gonna put a screw in this side, and again, it's not gonna go into a nut on the bench. If you build it on the bench, it's gonna go, into the nut that's welded into the fuselage, and the same for the top too. So, but this one is gonna be on the right side of this triangle. There's two pre-drilled holes down here. This one is larger if you look at it. These are also countersunked here, so this triangular piece will go with the countersunk parts to the outside. You can put this screw in, and look, you'll see these parts. You've got a spacer, a metal spacer. Here you've got like a little metal piece that goes over and locks in. Now you'll have to, when you install this onto the chassis or on the fuselage, you think you could flip this over because it's kind of U-shaped, but you can't. It actually is a knurled part on the back that keeps it from coming out all the way and in. So you need to put this piece over, so it'll actually move, but you need to put this piece over this so you have room to do it, because you'll have to spread it out a little bit before you put this screw in and then attach it to the fuselage. So you'll have to close this over and have it looking just like this when you put it up to the fuselage. The spring, of course, I put in last, but I put all this together sitting on the bench. And then you'll have to hold it up. I just hold it this way so all the parts stay together, then bring it up to the fuselage and put it in place. But you'll see here what that spring does. And this is of course attached to the back one. So it's wanting to bring the prop handle back, but it doesn't take much friction, you know, to hold it forward on the friction knob. See, the friction knob will keep things like that, but I don't really, I guess somebody can tell me why, but I don't understand why you'd want it to want to come back this way. Maybe it's because of the pressure from the propeller wanting to bring it forward if it turns. I don't know. I don't know, but for some reason that's what they've done, and I did it. So this right here will increase the pressure. Make sure you pay attention too. There's two little, I think you call them Belleville washers, that go in between here, right in that little part right there, and it's between the end of this knob and that. There's two little washers. They turn opposite. They're bent, you know, they're beveled. And so when they come together, as you increase the pressure on this, it smashes them out more, gives more resistance. So in any case, I'll go to the other side where you can see better. But you can see here the pieces. So you've got the knurled knob. This is, again, this is the screw. This screw right here is long and it's welded onto the fuselage. It'll be sticking out. So that's where this piece, if you see this triangular piece, the bottom part will have the screw you're putting into it. This part over here will actually mount, and you'll have to put the pieces together as you slide it onto the fuselage as you put it in there, okay? And if you look back on this way, I can't get over there much because of these, so I can do it like that. Anyway, you got, this is a piece here. These are the little spacers in between right there. And these are washers. It's a 10 and a 10L. They go right there between the prop handles and the throttle handle. And then I go ahead and put these pieces on. And later the throttle and the prop cables will screw into this area here, this one and this one. You can see where they go. The diagrams are good at showing that too. So the very top hole and the very bottom hole. These are 2310 bolts or screws, whatever you want to call them, on the two that hold the forks. And then there's 23/8 that go through these four. So this hole won't be used on this prop panel here. You're using the bottom hole here. You'll see it's all nice and parallel if you do it right. So this is the bottom hole going to the bottom hole on this prop panel, the top, or the throttle. The top's going to the throttle cable. This is the prop handle. It goes to the bottom, and this is the top screw of these will go across to there. And of course, tighten your castle nuts, but not enough. Make sure you can still easily move these, you know, back and forth. And of course, we put grease in here too. The back part's pretty easy. You can see there, it's just you got the castle nut here, and then you got the one spacer, just a round spacer. Then you've got the throttle handle, another spacer they call for. Then the prop, and then you're just going to the triangular piece there. Same thing with it. It's countersunk for the screw heads on that side. And up top, you can see it has the small little spacers that are metal or plastic, whatever, in the kit that go between them. Same on this side. You can see up in there where they're at. Spacers. The light's not very good, but that's how it goes. And you can, again, just pre-make those up, hold them together, and then hold them up to the fuselage and mount them in, because those nuts are already in there. On the diagrams, I think everything's pretty good as long as you understand what it is. This is the, I'm gonna say top. This is the top of the throttle. This quadrant. You can see this says EE, well, it's not labeled, but that's what it's referring to. This is EE right here. And then EE further breaks it down to D right here, which comes down to here. So this little section here is shown in more detail right there. So you can see the screw call outs and the part call outs for what's going on right in here. And this whole thing here is what's going on in this area here, as you can see. So as you're building it, this is going to be the top part, or the top of the triangle. which is up here. See this triangle right here? Let's see. This little triangular piece that's right here. This is the one we're replacing with the new piece on the service bulletin. So that's referring to how these parts that go on the top, and then this one, and then this is right here showing the bottom part, okay? So this is where the knurled knob is. So this part right here is the bottom of the part right there, okay? And same thing over here on this is the rear. This whole page is the rear quadrant. And it's doing the same thing. This is the whole thing. And then these are the insets. This is an inset for here, and this is an inset for here, showing you the same thing, the top and the bottom. But like I say, other than that, you can see these show the 1032, 364, 1032, but these are welded. This is the one that's welded on there I was telling you about on the bottom. Same thing with the ones on the top. Same things with the ones over here. They're already welded in. So anyway, hopefully that helps clarify it a little bit better.